Okay, Finn Russell was out of the game against France with concussion. It is a shame. I would have liked to see Finn Russell take on his league opponents in the French side because he plays for Racing. So it would have been interesting to see how the French would have dealt with Finn Russell. But if you bring in young Hastings at fly half, or even Peter Horn, I don't think the French would have as much knowledge on those two players playing in that position, considering that Horn plays mostly at 12 for Scotland. And Hastings also can play at 12 as well and has not had a lot of test experience. So it could be a joker in the pack having Finn Russell not in the side. That could actually work more to Scotland's advantage because the French may not really know who at 10 and what they're capable of. The issue is, though, they've lost Stuart Hogg as well. They've lost two key kicking options. Blair Kinghorn's more of a running fullback, but we saw with England that they could mix up kick or run, and it caused no end of problems for the French. The kicks in behind caused chaos, but the French defence was disorganised from minute 1 to minute 80, and the scrum tired. That scrum is 50 to 100 kilos heavier than your average scrum at club and international level. I've watched a lot of rugby over the last couple of weeks, Major League Rugby, the Pro 14, some Super Rugby, and I've looked at the scrum weights, and that French scrum is far, far heavier than it needs to be. It's too heavy. And when you've got those big forwards in key defensive roles, if you move them around with quick ball, they are going to tire a lot. And if the French have are sloppy with their handling and there's a lot of scrums, they're going to tire. It is energy sapping. So that could be an area that the Scots target. The French scrum fell apart both against Wales and against England and was really exposed and destroyed by the English scrum. And that English scrum has got issues with it. There are players missing, there's some players bedding in, we've had some retirements, and they destroyed a French scrum. With some experienced French players in it, it was completely annihilated. And there wasn't really much leadership from the senior players either. So there's a clear issue with the French. On the Scotland side of things, yes, they will miss Stuart Hogg, yes, they will miss Finn Russell, but at the same time, I think they can absorb those losses because the style of play that Scotland play, the players that would be called up to come in, also play that style at club level as well. Horn is a very expansive fly half inside centre. Hastings can play both those positions as well. He plays in a very similar vein. They've got depth at fly half inside centre. It's not an issue that it was 10 years ago. They've really improved in that area of the field. And I think this could be the joker in the pack, having the young Hastings at fly half. I don't think the French would have prepared for that. They would have gone possibly Laidlaw going there, or Horn, a more experienced player with more caps, more club level experience. So that could be interesting how the young lad does if he plays in that position. Blair Kinghorn at fullback, he's going to run it back. His kicking game is developing, and he has got a very healthy boot on him, but he prefers to run it. And with that French defence, if they keep kicking to dangerous strike runners like that, it's going to be a very long day. That's looking at Cameron Lopez. So I could do a preview of this game, knowing that the preview I did for the whole round, a lot's happened. There is an injury. The Scotland system may have to change a little bit, but I can't see too much change. It's a shame for Finn Russell. It would have been nice to see how the French dealt with Finn Russell, considering he plays his club rugby there. But with young Adam Hastings, that could be really, really interesting. It could be an interesting match in Paris. I think that I do honestly believe the French are ripe for a 50-60 point defeat. I think England were too nice, I think, in the second half. They completely eased off the pedal. They could have put an extra 30 odd points on that French side. I think the Welsh, they will be disappointed with how they played in that first half against France. But this is the whipping boys of this year's Six Nations. Even the Italians could put 30 points on this French side and be comfortable and do the French over. I think this French side is the worst French side I think we have seen for quite some time. They are looking like wooden spoon candidates, but the French are so unpredictable. They could touch Mother Earth that week off and they could have a blinder, but I don't see it. But there we go, Finn Russell is out. It's a big shame. It does change the tactical makeup of the game. It's really interesting to see how both sides play. Thank you very much for watching. Please like and subscribe. Place your thoughts below and I will have some more videos for you soon.